God, why do I see it so quickly? Why do I speak so quickly? Why do things break so easily? Future is unbeatable? Why is this happening to me? I need help. I'm such a butter. Hey, don't say that. Everything is gonna be okay. Get out! Get out right now! And howdy! It's me, Manny! And today it's the kind of redesign of Melanie for the use of doing TETORIS. Not sure how you're supposed to say it. Thumbnail art cover thing. Doing the art for the cover. I don't know, I see it's so complicated. But yeah, redesign. Or kinda update, I suppose, is more correct. That's the wording I used last time for Alikio, I think. Because it is, in essence, the same outfit, but better. Just like Alikio. The hair is the same. Their vibe is updated with a better style. It's the same idea as Alikio. And the vibe shift is to match, well, the personality. Mel is the representation of perfectionism, so giving them a more professional, classy, proper, peppy look just made sense. So the skirt got turned into a better skirt that looked like more fancy. Before it was so simple. It didn't fit, I don't know. Meanwhile, the top used to be a t-shirt for some reason. I think that's because I designed Melanie and Kyla on P-Cruise and thus used whatever options were available. And when I finally drew them for real, I didn't think that I could change stuff. Like, I was too married to the ideas to be like, I can update it. Same thing for Kyla with the single color thing. I only could do that on P-Crew, and I didn't immediately go, wait, I can do whatever I want. Ugh, skill issue, TBH. But yeah, the t-shirt turned into a shirt and sweater combo, which makes so much more sense. And is also something I actually wear, like I said in my Sona redesign, so that's fun. It's fitting. There are representation of my perfectionism. There's like little Easter eggs to stuff I actually wear. How fun, how neat. There sure doesn't have any fun patterns though, that's how you know they're perfectionism and miss the creativity. They're only half of me. Skill issue. I need to stop immediately saying skill issue. This is not working out, it's not working out, none of this is working out. Moving on. So, why TETORIS? How did this happen? How did I discover TETORIS? Why Melanie? So it was randomly recommended to me because I listened to a lot of vocaloid songs. A lot of the time on repeat, because that's just who I am as a person. Listening to the same song for an hour is just how I exist. It just do be like that. And it appeared and I was like, oh, how fun. I like the Tetris music. This is TETORIS. I love Teto. Vibe. And I thought it would be one of those, you know, where it's just sounds and not actually lyrics. So I was intrigued. I looked for a translation. At the time there wasn't subtitles in English or in any other language, because I think it had just came out like 5 days ago or something. And so I found, I don't remember if it was that somebody just wrote the lyrics in Japanese, and there is the new feature on YouTube to translate comments that are not in your language, or if somebody translated in the comments, but I would assume that it was the former, and then later there may be the latter too. Unsure. But I loved the song, and it immediately made me think of Melanie, which hurt my brain, cause at first the song I saw, the vocaloid song I associated with Melanie was Aishite. Now I associate it with Kayla singing about Melanie. You know the actually Ray Shadowvania animatic, the vibe of Up It On a String for like most of it until the switcheroo, the I've played you part. Kinda that vibe. But anyway, this isn't about Kyla, this is about Melanie. So, since the song is about, like, how do I explain my thought process? Since it's about, like, lots of stuff that happens in life and trying to erase mistake, and feeling like you're a mess and people are only pretending to like you. Knowing Melanie's deal, I think you'd understand why that immediately made me think of them, with the whole deal of a superiority complex that comes from like feeling like inadequate, you know, like they need to constantly prove themselves because childhood stuff that just do happen, you know? You know that moment when an expectation is set about you and then you have to constantly fight about it. That's them, but in a kind of evil way. Not really, but that's like not on purpose, but that's what happens. You know what I mean? They're lawful neutral, but they do act kind of evil with Kyla. All the inks. For the drawing, I knew I couldn't animate. I've dabbled in animation, and I knew for a fact that doing a character spin was not gonna happen. I've seen how much lines and planning and like making sure that everything stays in the right spots. For those references where you see all the sides, and that would be basically that with in-betweens. And every single one of them with every single expressions, no, I could not do a turning around and then more and more disheveled version. That's above my current paying rate, okay? So I settled on making it look like they're spinning. I immediately thought of Doki Doki Literature Club with the title screen, their skirt, making it look like they're kinda moving and dancing and stuff. And I try to give off the same vibe with the skirt, with the shirt kinda moving, with how their bodies turned. I kept the same pose as TETORIS, and also the same background. We don't change something that works well. I love the vibe of TETORIS. It just works very well. Who's surprised that I like a song that I like, and that I like also the can we call it a music video? Is it a lyrics video? Where do we draw the line? How does it work? I don't know, I'm not educated on lingo. I had to be told that object head do not count as humanizing or Gejinka-fying characters. Don't ask me. I do my best, okay? That's anything else is above my pay grade. Cause I'm not paid. So, difficult. Like usual, the hyper-realistic hands. Also something I had to be told. I thought that having any actual images of something real interacting in any way with a cartoony character counts as hyper-realism, and thus would need to be flagged as such for like trigger warnings. That it counts as body horror, but actually apparently it's not hyper-realism except when it's directly a part of the character's anatomy. Like if those hands were Melanie's hands, that would be hyper-realism, but since they're detached from them and are just an ability of them, it's not hyper-realism and it's fine. I was surprised to learn that, but I guess that works out. I don't need to give trigger warnings on my images of them with the hands on our fight, which is cool, I guess. I don't know. But for this drawing in particular, because of the lyrics, I thought of having the hands hiding their eyes because they want to erase their past mistake and throw them away and stuff. I have the original lyrics and the English fan translated fan translation cover mixed up, so I don't remember the exact lyrics right now. I haven't listened to TETORIS in a few weeks. I've changed hyperfixation of vocaloid song. Alas. Sometimes my favorite vocaloid song becomes my 5th favorite vocaloid songs because I've listened to like lots more and they change. Skill issue. Not really. Also, the hands on the mouth. I don't remember what that's about in particular. Maybe being full of shame or something. And the last one, trigger warning for self-harm, is I didn't want to make it look too graphic, so I didn't make the hand as realistic as I could. I didn't make it wrap around their neck realistically. The hands are still clearly on top of their neck, but they aren't. I didn't use the eraser tool to make it seem like it was wrapping around the neck. It's just on top of it. But it's still a choking motion, just not a graphic one. It's just their subconscious self-harming, basically, from the self-hatred that have accumulated at the end of the song. You can see that I thought about making it more graphic and I was like, oh no, I don't like. I feel like that's going a little too far. It wasn't self-censorship, by the way, because as much as I did consider how much it could trigger other people, the main reason I actually decided I was triggering my own self, and I was like, yeah, no. We keep the vibe, we keep the imagery so that it's clear, but we don't need to go extreme with it, cause I'm triggering myself and that's not the point. I like making art more when I don't trigger myself, so let's not trigger myself. Thank you. But yeah, that's it. And then I just needed to do the how is that called? The silhouette. And that was all the images I needed for the cover itself. For those who didn't skip but looked away from the Speedpaint mood, that part of it is over now. And then I tried working on a thumbnail. I tried doing my old style of thumbnail, but then I was like, the OG works well, so I was kinda trying to do an in-between now, trying to find the middle, to put Melanie in the middle, and then that's when I figured that I forgot the English and French cover. I don't say the language when it's the OG, and since neither are the OG, I needed both of them to say the language. And then I decided to also put them in the same place as the OG on top, and I don't know if there's anything in the bottom of the OG, but I think in the English fan English version, there is on the bottom, and that just makes sense. You have two things and there's one at the top, you can mirror it and put the other one on the bottom. And I think I was listening to covers with different vocaloid or like from fans at that moment and realized the color of the O, and I was wondering what color I would do and decided that that color that worked. I don't remember if that's the exact color as the OG or if it's different, but it's the highlight color of their hair, I think, and it works. And look at that little thumbnail, isn't it cute? Isn't it neat? Look at it. English and French version, very cute, very neat. Very nice thumbnail, very professional. Way better than my old thumbnails, but those were better than my older thumbnails for covers. So we're always progressing. Anyway, that's it for this video, guys, and next video will be the English cover, followed by the French cover that is translated by myself, so I hope you will like it. I care in the translation. I used two different translations of the OG Japanese lyrics, as well as the English fan cover, and used those three as a base for my interpretation, and then I adapted that into French lyrics. But anyway, that's for this video, guys. Take care. Bye!